Hey, what's up, y'all? Thanks so much for tuning in and checking out today's chat. And today I want to talk about something that is very important when it comes to doing something new for the first time, whether it be switching career fields, moving across the country, or even stepping into your creative endeavor without any background as to what that is going to look like for you. You don't know how it's going to go. You just know it's something that you want to do. And oftentimes we run into that barrier of allowing the fear to control us. And one of the things I specifically want to discuss is how we can actually reframe that and to make it as comfortable as we can while still moving forward with the action steps needed. And I know most times we look at fear as, being something that is uncomfortable. And most times it is. I know for me, I've talked myself out of things in the past, opportunities, just because of the fear that immobilizes you when it comes to stepping into the unknown, because, we don't know what to expect. Is this going to work out? Is this going to be worth my time? What if people laugh? What if, it doesn't meet my expectations? And the thing is, we don't know what that's going to look like until we actually step into it. So that's why I want to talk about the importance of reframing fear to allow us to have those opportunities, and eventually it's going to end up leading us to the next step. And one of the things I have here is, you look at fear as a means to an end. And when I say that, I mean, if you think about being fearful, every time you've been fearful of something, that has, and I'm speaking in terms of opportunities in ways that you could level up in life. And I know, a lot of times we look at fear, like say for instance, it's an opportunity within your job, your organization, and it's going to require you to do different things that you haven't done before. And a lot of times we can talk ourselves out of opportunities and promotions because we don't know what that looks like. But what if you looked at it as an opportunity for you to not only progress and to learn, but actually for you to continue to move up to where you have done that thing so much that the fear is removed. Don't allow it to immobilize you. Allow that fear to be a catalyst. And yes, it's going to be uncomfortable, but I think if we reframe it, that's what's going to be most important. And to give you an example, think about the first time that you drove a car, or when you were trying to get your driver's license. The fear of being behind the wheel, I know it almost took me out. As a teenager, I can just remember okay, well, you got the drive, you got the park, you got all your gears, you know how to shift, you got to know how to navigate the traffic. There's a lot that you have to learn, and you have to know how to go with the flow of the traffic in order to be a good driver. But the first time that you get behind the wheel, you don't know what you're doing, but you're doing it. You're doing it afraid. And with the help of your instructor and the people who are helping you learn how to drive, eventually you get to the point where you get your driver's license or your permit first. And then after you get your permit, you get your license. And that itself is, you're getting to where you need to go. So you start with the permit, then you get your license, you're making progress. And before you know it, you've been driving, how many years? You've been on the road long enough to be a veteran. You know what you're doing. You know when to slow down. You know how to go with the flow of traffic. You know when you need to, make a right, a left. You know what the lights mean. You know what the signals mean. So when you allow yourself to step into an opportunity, even if you're afraid, that's going to be the turning point of you making the progress to where eventually you'll get to the point when you're not afraid. I know public speaking is a huge one for a lot of people, just getting in front of an audience and talking. I mean, even for me, right now, sometimes when I'm in front of the camera, it can be fearful, but I show up and I do it anyway. And as time progresses, I can trust that I will come across with more clarity, more direct and more effective with the chats and things like that I'm giving, because I have done it even in and through the fear. I've allowed that to come through me. I've accepted it, but it's not going to stop me from reaching my goal, because at the end of the day, what is fear? It's just something that you're not familiar with. The more you become familiar with the action of that thing, it's going to get to the point where it'll no longer be a fear for you. It'll be second nature. So just food for thought, another way to look at fear, just know it's not going to harm you. It's not going to harm you. Only thing it's going to do is going to build you up into the character that you are stepping into so that you can progress and proceed towards your goals. So I hope that helps someone. Appreciate you guys tuning in. If you have not already subscribed, feel free to subscribe to the channel. And I definitely look forward to catching you guys in the next chat.